we're going to dive into a concept called shadow work. Your shadow self is composed of the parts of yourself that you reject. They're in your personality, they're within you, but you're blind to them. You don't see them because you don't want to see them. How does the shadow self form? Why is it here? What is its purpose? And as with most things, it comes back to our childhood. And the reason why we reject these aspects of our personality goes back to our childhood. When we're young, we are so dependent upon our caregivers for survival. And for this reason, we become very attached to our caregivers, to their ways of being, to their ways of doing things. So, for example, let's say that a caregiver scolds you or punishes you for being outspoken, going against their authority. So there's a chance then that you won't feel safe speaking out, speaking your mind from that point on, even all the way through your adulthood. What's happening in that scenario, what it means to you is that the person I need to love me in order to survive won't love me if I do this thing. So it's safer for me not to do that, not to be that, to suppress that part of myself and form a more acceptable part and way of being. That message becomes internalized. It's buried within you in your subconscious, and then it can become a trigger for you for seemingly no reason at all. You know, if one of your shadows is around speaking your truth and being outspoken, it might bother you when you witness other people speaking up. You may experience unexplainable feelings of anger and resentment and bitterness when you see someone else doing something that you've been programmed to believe is not safe. We all have shadows. We all have our shadows. And 3 common shadows are the inability to set boundaries. I see a lot of this in my line of work. A fear of speaking up and sharing your truth, which results in low self-confidence. And I would say also inauthenticity. And then procrastinating from doing things that you know are good for you. This doesn't only have to be a dark shadow. It's not only parts of yourself that would be considered unacceptable by others on a mass scale, but there's something also called the positive shadow. If you grew up in a family that really valued and prioritized doing things by the book and maybe like playing it safe, maybe you were highly encouraged to become a lawyer, a doctor, engineer, something that makes good money, very structured, there's a clear pathway, but your natural personality, your natural way of being is to be very creative and unique. Maybe you're an artist, but because that wasn't safe for you in your family, that part of you was shunned and disciplined out. So even when you see people like liberated in their creative expression, it's triggering for you. But when you uncover these authentic, real aspects of yourself, you can find that they have great benefit. They actually are here to serve you. Being creative is a gift. Being an artist is a gift. It just wasn't considered that way in your family, but it can be of great service to you and great service to this world. Shadow work focuses on bringing compassion, non-judgment, self-love, unconditional love. It focuses on seeing through the eyes of divinity, of wholeness. There is a process, a healing process of shadow work. And it looks like first identifying your shadows and coming to terms with as many of them as possible, making the unconscious conscious, recognizing that there are many of these unconscious elements of your personality and bringing them more and more to the light. And then accepting your shadows, owning them, acknowledging that they have a purpose and value for your life. Then loving and bringing compassion, non-judgmental, unconditional love to your shadows, bringing them to the light, welcoming them, accepting them. The next step is to embody. Once you own and you love your shadows, you can consciously embody them and leverage them for your own personal growth and development. And then finally, to integrate, really seeing the value of your shadows in every area of your life and using them to help you expand and grow and evolve. So I wonder, are you willing to become the detective and get curious about all of these unconscious shadows living within your personality? Identify them, accept them, love them, embody them, integrate them. You ready for this journey?